Welcome to Scrap Talk, your inside look from three outsiders of combat sports, where we aren't experts but will give you our opinions, like we are anyway.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Scrap Talk podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm Derek.
And I'm Law. How's everybody doing? Merry Christmas!
Again, no special guest, but we do got a good one lined up, but you'll have to settle for Scotty being your special guest again.
Oh, he's back.
He is back
In the saddle again.
from Warsaw, Ohio.
Warsaw, Ohio.
Did you listen to the last episode, Scotty?
Yes, I did.
Did you hear the email from
Get to that.
from Elmer? Oh man, some dude named Elmer, and I don't know who it is. He's got to be 107 years old because he has a Hotmail email address. And I mean, when's the last time you heard anybody use a Hotmail?
I used to have one, but yeah, not in a while.
Yeah, and he was like bashing me and you.
Huh. Well, probably deserved on my end.
This is what, 15, 16 number that we've done? We did a few more. Yeah, number 15, I think.
The first time it's ever been bad for the two of you, suck it up. You can hang with it.
I don't know, man. It hurts.
There's now a weekly session on our show that literally designated to making fun of me.
Well, it's not necessarily. Gary loves you.
But that's not the weekly session in our show.
Believe me, he emailed twice.
Did the P.O. box you set up ever receive any gifts?
No, if you'd read the email last week, he said he was going to, but I had to have a last name and a phone number or something, and I was skeptical to give that to Gary. So I'm actually sorry, Gary, but Law told me to go ahead and do it. So this week I'll email you and we'll get it taken care of.
I'm actually surprised that you say you're skeptical. I figured as soon as he asked that, you would have given my address, my social, everything you had, or found it.
This weekend I probably will.
Derek, before you got here, I took Law into my arms. I embraced him, rubbed his head, and said, "It's all going to be okay because it's OU."
Ah, man, you know what we should have done? Is start with a freaking episode like that we did when he played the Alabama music and then yelled Boomer. We should have started Alabama music to start it.
That would have been good.
Boy, I wish I'd have thought.
Missed opportunity.
That was an awful Saturday night. It got a little bit better with the fights.
But it was the fights were Friday night, thank you, and so was the OU football game.
True. They were all Friday night.
Yeah, so
Did you guys watch Jake Paul?
that's what we need to start talking about. There's not a lot of stuff going on, but that is the big thing going on right now. Scotty, you watch it?
Yeah, we text each other during the fight, and it was a little hard to watch those first couple rounds.
So, yeah, we'll start with talking about the main fight, the one everybody actually cares about.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua.
Yeah. Law, did you watch?
I did.
What'd you think about it? What's your take?
I came away thinking that what ended up happening was exactly what should have happened. I was a little surprised it took that long. The more I've thought about it, reflected on it, I don't think it was a fixed fight. I don't think anything to that nature. I do think, like you had mentioned to me in text, I do think Anthony Joshua carried the fight. I mean, it's a bad stat when you had more takedowns than you did landed punches.
He had 10 takedown attempts. Literally, like ankle pick looking. Actually, they weren't clinching. He was
Going for that double leg.
in sheer panic mode. That's what he was at, though.
He was fighting for his life.
Yeah, he realized real quick
It's different.
that it was a different game. He's not fighting 60-year-old Mike Tyson or 50-year-old Anderson Silva. He's fighting a guy just outside of his prime, former world champion, two-time former world champion Anthony Joshua.
I mean, you got to give it to him for making it that long.
There was one round where he killed 30 seconds in a 3-minute round, just trying to avoid.
So I'll Scotty, give your take before I go into my soapbox. I'm about to go on a soapbox.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Law. I'm not going to put my tinfoil hat on like normal. And normally I could care less about these fights, but I do have a lot of respect for Jake getting in there with Anthony freaking Joshua. I mean, my hat's off to him. If anything, I'll come out of it having some respect for him. And we always said yeah, he's a good boxer, yada, yada, yada. I just don't like how he's kind of come up, but
Or him, all that stuff.
Or him, yeah. But no, I have respect for Jake now. I mean, what he did, I feel like took some balls and, but yeah, he doesn't play for it. He got paid for sure. But no, I thought that I do think Anthony Joshua was taking it a little slow. I feel like he could have got the job done sooner. But
well, he said before the fight that he wanted to break him mentally. And he said he could easily break him physically, and he wanted to get in there and break him mentally.
So, all right, time for my soapbox. It is not a work. It wasn't a work, but Anthony Joshua tried 0% to finish the fight through 5 3/4 rounds. And here's probably why. I don't know. I've not seen a contract. I doubt anybody ever will. But I guarantee you, he made X number of dollars for the first round. You get $1 million at the last round. You get $2 million at the last 2 rounds. You get 5 at last 3. And it probably capped out in the 6th round. Is like, okay, 6th round on is you get the full split. And because you can watch, Anthony Joshua is known for his jab, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He 0% jab, right? Like he jabbed to his body, but he wasn't like using body shots to set up a headshot, right? Like he was just like throwing
Did it at the very end.
Okay, at the end, and exactly. But I'm saying the first 5 rounds, he was not throwing. He was throwing like weak ass jabs to the body. He wasn't throwing shit. And when he threw sorry, I'm cussing now because I'm fired up. When he threw really hard punches, only when Jake Paul was circling out and clearly out of range. That is the only time he was throwing super hard punches, when he was clearly going to miss, and everybody knew he was going to miss. And it looked like he was throwing it out of frustration or whatever, but it wasn't frustration. It's to say, look, hey, look, I'm trying, everybody. And he, an Olympic gold medalist boxer, which means you have very good amateur boxing, which is a different style of fighting than professional boxing, I understand. However, he is a world champion heavyweight boxer. You tell me a guy with that integrity don't know how to cut off a ring? I'm a terrible boxer, and I know how to cut off a ring. He just followed him around like he had never been in a boxing ring before and let Jake run in that giant 22-foot ring and let him run. And, Jake's legs were giving out on him. He could only run so long.
Right.
And then imagine whenever it got to be, okay, you get full amount of money from this point on, Anthony Joshua did turn on, because you can see the power in his punches from even round 5 to 6. Watch it increase drastically. You mean to tell me that dude's punching, 18 minutes into a fight way harder than he would have been in the first 2 minutes of the fight? 0 freaking % chance, man. Because he wasn't throwing anything of consequence. He wasn't trying to in the fight. So anybody say, good job, Jake Paul, man. He lasted, and he made Francis Ngannou only made it a round and a half with him. Jake Paul made it 6 rounds almost with the champ. Like, no, man. It was kind of like when Floyd Mayweather fought Conor McGregor. It was like, hey, let's have a show here. And I'm sure it had something to do with his freaking contract too. But Anthony Joshua, I mean, good for him making $92 million.
And it makes boxing look bad.
But it makes boxing look bad because Jake Paul, while he says, when I use the term good boxer, like he trains hard, he would beat us 3 in a fight.
Yes.
That's that. He's not a top 50 cruiserweight, and he's going to talk about being a cruiserweight world champion. He's not a, you know what I mean?
He'd probably fight at like welterweight in the UFC.
Yeah, but as a professional boxing goes, as professional standards, he's a low end boxer as far as professional standards go. Now, he's not the dude that takes off work stocking shelves at a Walmart in Arkansas to go box or, at a casino on a Friday night randomly here and there. He's a legit professional boxer that does it professionally and all the time. And out of that level of guy, he is the bottom of the barrel. And it makes me angry that Anthony Joshua let that guy last 6 rounds with him, because we're going to have to hear about that forever. The only positive is that friggin' right cross that spun his head in a circle and broke his jaw in 2 places. Where I will give credit where credit's due
is that he didn't go lights out.
He didn't go lights out because my head would have been off my shoulders in about the 5th row if he hit me like that.
I might have died.
And yeah, I mean, yeah. And he ate that uppercut in the 5th round, which granted, I don't think it was a full power uppercut, but I think it was a solid uppercut. He didn't go rubber leg or nothing out of it. So while Jake Paul's a crappy boxer, as far as professional standards go, a good boxer compared to average Joe, but he has money and trains all the time. Jake Paul has a very good chin. I will give him credit there because
he did. We don't know if he will anymore, but he did.
Well, he didn't get put to sleep. So, and that punch would have put most people to sleep. The best part of it all is the picture. You can watch it. It's like, it's great. It's frozen. It's Jake Paul with just sheer terror in his face. Like,
both angles from that picture are great because it's Jake Paul and sheer terror. And then you look at Anthony Joshua right,
and he's smiling. Yeah. Cause he knows, hey, this fight's over. Jake's hands were down at his waist and his chin's up on
he crossed his hands several times. Like he would throw a punch so hard and he'd be off balance where he'd literally cross his hands. That's like a number 1 no-no in boxing.
And the number 1 no-no is going for an ankle pick, and he did that 10 times. So
And I was shocked. What shocked me the most about it, and there's been heavy rumors that that's how all of Jake Paul's fights are. Is they have that, we'll call it an escalator clause on the pay per round. The thing that surprised me the most was Anthony Joshua didn't cut him off. Because he could have cut him off. He could have turned it into a half a ring.
He didn't take the ring off at all. He just literally volley,
But
like a complete novice.
I think it was a fourth round was where Paul landed his only decent good shot.
Right. Like 3.
It didn't do anything.
No.
It didn't do a thing.
I saw Chael Sonnen said before the fight, they could give Jake Paul a shovel when going into the ring, and he's not going to hit Joshua. And if he does, he's not going to have enough power to knock him out. And I thought that was pretty much, and it showed because he did that overhand right, which is what he hoped for the whole time.
That's what he always did.
And that's what he was hoping for the whole time. And he was just winging that sucker. And he had literally no plan B. You know what I mean? Like he's like, all right, please land a Hail Mary, and hopefully Anthony Joshua's chin's as bad as we've heard.
Yeah. And look, he's made all this money, this fight. He's like a victim of his own delusion. But like, I started to wonder before the fight, like, do you think that he saw what Ruiz did and he thought, I can do this too?
He may be so delusional.
Maybe.
He probably thought he could win until he actually got in the ring and was like, oh God.
I bet the first time he felt like a punch, he was like, this is different. Like, this is going to be a different situation.
What the heck? This isn't 60-year-old Mike Tyson punching me. What is going on here?
Trophy showing 2 places.
Yeah, he had surgery on it already.
2 titanium plates, but in it is going to be eating not a just solid food or just liquid foods for I think 7 days from when the surgery was.
Yep. It couldn't happen to a better man.
Right. And when I read out there, now he's disputed this already on Twitter, but supposedly he made $92 million from it, and Anthony Joshua made $60 million.
He said 92 also, they said. They said even split. And they says even split, but did you see how much money in taxes Anthony Joshua has to pay? Between the United States and the UK, he has to pay taxes both places. It's like almost 70% of his purse, I heard.
What?
Yeah. I mean, he's still, don't get me wrong. I would fight Satan for $22 million. So, you know what I mean? So I'd fight anybody for $22 million. So he think like he's hurting. But I mean, $22 million, not even, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much money he made. I can't do math very well, but I'm sure it's somewhere in the 20s. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of money, but it's substantially less. Got to buy a smaller yacht.
Anthony Joshua talked about wanting to fight Tyson Fury next. I'd like that fight. I'd watch this.
I love Tyson Fury, but he's washed. What do you think, Scotty?
You know, I was thinking about his fights with Usyk.
So what about his
Actually,
fight with him freaking in Ngannou where he looked like me trying to...
He didn't train and he didn't take it serious.
Yeah.
but I'm a big Fury fan.
I love that dude.
And talking about that whole situation, Jake Paul lasted longer than Francis did against him, but against Anthony Joshua.
No, I see. Yeah.
I just gave my whole reason to why me.
But
Well, you law.
but that will be something like you said that is going to be forever. That
Oh, people will say
do you
that.
think Jake and Francis will ever fight?
No. Jake will never fight somebody serious ever again.
I disagree with that.
He'll fight freaking Andrew Tate now.
Popping.
Yeah.
And Tate. We'll get into that.
Win. So
Yeah, we'll get into that.
I definitely wouldn't have gone into the weekend thinking that I was going to be more impressed with Jake Paul than I was with Andrew Tate. And I don't think, even though Jake Paul looked bad, I don't think you can be more impressed with Tate than you can Jake.
Well, I mean, at least
That was bad.
Andrew Tate lost to a current world champion.
Well, it was a reality star.
But also on the card there, Jake Paul, there was some woman's fight that about put me to sleep. Do y'all remember who their names are? So we can at least
Bonnie Carter was the champion. She ended up winning. She took the game, the title. So
Yeah.
the title. I mean,
I know they did 3-minute rounds, and I'm not sure I filled up that with women's fights.
the big other fight though was definitely Tyron Woodley versus Anderson Silva.
Yeah, what do y'all think about that, Mr. Bracer?
I didn't get to watch it, but after going back, I got to be honest, I didn't know they were fighting. And then
If you'd listen to our podcast, you would have.
Woodley. Yeah, I don't know if Woodley needs to keep boxing.
Woodley don't need to keep fighting.
Yeah. I was a huge Woodley fan. Like back in the when he was running through the UFC with those big punches, I loved it. I was a big fan of him.
Yeah, he went on a run for sure.
And I am afraid now that because I think he's lost his last 7 combat, whatever you want to call it, fight.
Hell, fighting in 2019.
So I think he's really starting to get to the point where he's damaging his legacy.
We've won as many fights combined as he has since 2019.
And here's the deal. Afterwards, he said he wants to do it again, but he basically said, don't call me last minute. Don't make me be the last minute guy to fill in.
Well, he shouldn't have accepted it.
We can't all be on a generational comeback like our boy Tony.
That's true, and we'll get to that in a minute. World.
But I really do think he's not for I really do think he's affected his legacy, though. I think when people think of Woodley, the first thing that's going to come to mind now is this Jake Hall stuff, all this influence of boxing stuff. They're not going to think about Woodley as the champion in the UFC.
Was he a Strikeforce champion too? Maybe. No, he was not. He got beat by Nate Marquardt, but he did fight for the title.
But it's tough because he doesn't even look good.
No,
it doesn't even look like.
So he was swinging a lot of punches, which is against Jake Paul. He threw like 7 punches.
That's what he did there.
So he did try that.
He threw like 7 punches in 2 fights.
Yeah. And he probably threw 20 punches in the first round, which in a filling out round was, significantly more than Anderson. He won the first round just on aggression alone. And if you watch it, like the first time I was watching, because I was pulling for Anderson, he's not going to cheer for Anderson Silva. And Anderson, I thought he was hitting Anderson, but if you watch it, Anderson's defense is pretty solid because none of those landed good. None of them. He was parrying them off and blocking and dodging, and it was very impressive for a 50-year-old man.
Well, I saw one highlight where Silva taps his ankle.
That was the knockout.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Roy Jones used to do that. Roy Jones Jr. did. So it was like he always a big fan of Roy Jones Jr. So it's kind of like homage to that, I guess.
And Tyler looked down and immediately started to reflect on a kick.
I think he thought he was about to get a flying knee in the face.
I think he thought it was some kind of kick or something. Yeah.
And he ate that uppercut. And I said at the time when he stood up, I was like, the ref needs to stop this. Like he was too rubber-legged to keep going. And he was real slow to respond to the ref's commands. And his corner, I guess, realized that when the ref was going to let him continue. And Woodley was mad at first. And I guess later he said, no, they made the right call.
Yeah, they did.
Anderson Silva wants to keep fighting as well.
Well, I think he wants to fight until he's 50 is what
he is 50.
I thought, is he 50 on the knot? I thought he was 49.
No, he's 50.
Oh, well, then he wants to keep fighting. Okay.
Yeah, that dude's he's going to be completely winning if he looks like
depending on the matchup. So probably
he looks like the type of guy you see at the gym now and you go, well, not us until we don't go. But when I used to go to the gym, the type of guy you're like, I bet that guy used to be in pretty good shape. That's what Anderson looks like to me. I don't know if Anderson he shouldn't box anybody higher level than a Tyron Woodley or
maybe a little bit better than Woodley, but not much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He don't need to step up his game too much. He can have, his legacy style fights against other legends, I think would be a good thing for him. But so I don't know. I don't know who's maybe a Vitor Belfort fight next. That'd be
that sells it.
Yeah,
that'd be a good co-main event.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be great. But speaking of big cards, this card was a small potatoes for what we had this weekend.
Well, but hey, let's spoke real quick so we can hit this as well too. They released the numbers, and the Jake Paul Anthony Joshua fight's number 3 all time in boxing. The top 3 right now are all Netflix fights. Number 2 is Canelo and Bud Crawford, and then number 1 is Jake Paul,
Mike Tyson. I thought this would be number 1, but still,
it didn't even get number 2. I didn't know if it would get number 1 because
I forgot Bud Crawford and Canelo was on Netflix. Yeah, I'm surprised that ain't number 1.
The number that's out there, it's like 120 million that's out there for the Mike Tyson Jake Paul.
That's not ever be typed.
But I was very surprised it didn't end up number 2. I thought it would be number 12 was the Chambers.
What was the number for it?
Rough. Okay, this isn't exacts. But for the card that happened this weekend, the Jake Paul Anthony Joshua was like 33 million. And then right above it, the Canelo Bud Crawford fight was about 7.
So does that count into consideration, let's say Buffalo Wild Wings that puts it on? How does that work?
I'm sure
because there's 200 people watching the fight there or whatever, every Buffalo Wild Wings across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Does it count as one view? Or?
But I'm interested on Netflix.
Good question. It might go off occupancy.
What about multiple views? What happens if you're watching Netflix and then one of the bullshit fights happens and your kids come in and say, I want to watch something. Okay, we'll turn it to something for a few minutes and then you turn it back. Does that count as a whole new view? I bet it does. I bet that.
I don't know. I know back in the day, not to get to talk pro wrestling too much because they'll all get excited.
Oh, we'll go all night.
But I remember listening to Mike Graham and stuff talk about ratings and wrestling and how it worked. And then you could get a minute-to-minute deal. But basically, you can see when people tune off, they tune back in, so you can see the numbers jumping up and down. So they a view, then a view on top of that later. It dips and dives.
They can calculate being or not being.
So I don't know. It's interesting to that question.
The Netflix stuff isn't, I mean, definitely the top 3 fights being from Netflix is Floyd, Mayweather, and then Floyd, Pacquiao were the other 2 on the top 5.
Well, I'm just mostly surprised more people didn't tune in for a world championship fight this
I
weekend.
think 100,000 people tuned into that one.
To Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be more. Hey, the top G, bro. Oh, man.
I think the top G stock is falling a little bit.
I don't think he has any stock anymore.
And dude, he fought the guy.
On money.
He fought the guy that is the notorious meme for flopping around. Like, you know what I mean? You ever seen that, the GIF, how do you pronounce it?
I've not seen
It
it.
was floating around like crazy and free.
Yeah, for years it was floating around too. This dude, like,
He literally throws like and it's like jumps, and whoever is fighting throws like a weird uppercut, and the chase guy doesn't really back up from it. He kind of just does this, and then he throws one of these and throws his in a jump.
little thing. Oh, it's so bad. And that's who Andrew Tate lost to.
And during
Probably thought he was gonna.
what you guys know, during the fight, not obviously not the fight, but like during the fight camp, the entire time that dude's filming a new reality show. Like he's in the middle of filming it right now too.
Oh, Scotty will tune into that.
So Andrew Tate lost to that.
Andrew Tate did lose to a world champion where Jake Paul lost to somebody not a world champion.
Somebody that had been complaining all week long about getting stuffed in the weight because it was like a 204 weight agreement too.
For Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
I will say Andrew Tate, they say was an ISK kickboxing champion. I've seen old videos in kickboxing. He throws, his kicks looked okay. Like he didn't look very good. Like he didn't, to be a world champion, it was like kind of surprising because his chin's always way up in the air. Like his punches didn't have much zip behind them, you know, but I thought maybe just strictly boxing, he's had all this time, you know, and supposedly he did like 100 rounds with random people at one time. I don't know if you've seen that video ever. And I thought, if anything, he will have cardio, if anything.
He lasted maybe 2 rounds.
Oh, he was gassing the second round completely. By the third round, the dude had nothing left in the tank, and by the end of the fight, looked like he was dying.
What?
And he got knocked down by those.
Crazy to be in that fight. And obviously I don't know all of the great, form and all that kind of stuff, but he didn't look like, and again, I understand boxing compared to kickboxing. There was no form.
No, he looked like he'd never been in a boxing ring.
Yeah, he didn't.
He looked like he had no idea how to box, and it showed that he had no idea to box.
He didn't know how to get any power behind his punches. He was throwing just pure arms the whole time. Like, it shocked.
I will say, at the first round, he had a good jab to the body that was well for about 2 minutes or a minute and a half till he got tired.
He got cut up. He got bloody.
He got knocked down, like, by the silliest uppercut I've ever seen in my life. It was like if Anderson Silva's uppercut was sold on Heaney, and that was why he got knocked out.
What's the new whatnot or what at with the new thing that everybody, the whatnot halls or whatever they're getting?
That's what Scotty likes.
And then afterwards, he was kind of saying, this and that about his age. But then prior to that fight, Tony Ferguson wins. And
No.
Also, Ellis got a knockout. I think if it would have been another round, well, maybe not with the break, but it was almost there on a full knockout.
I want to say this. He's talking about his age, and I thought, well, I mean, I get it. You've been away from the sport, and it's hard to get back in after you've been away 10 years. Like, it's a huge difference. Like, I can attest to that.
Prison.
And it's true. He's been in prison, yeah. Well, was he in prison or jail?
I'm sure it was prison over there.
I don't know. Yeah, it was like Romania or something. Right? Yeah, he's a scumbag. Andrew Tate I don't respect the man, so I'm glad he got beat. I don't know who the other guy was, but I was cheering for him, honestly. And I thought it was hilarious that he looked so bad. And, he can go cry in his Bugatti, I guess, while I laugh on our podcast. but
Well, he bought into Misfits. I mean, that's the only reason he's fighting in the card.
but what made me laugh, he's talking about the age, 39. Oh, it's a young man's game. And yeah, it is. But Alexander Usyk's 38, and
right.
Alexander Usyk. So if he took care of himself and not smoking cigars and sex trafficked people and everything else that guy's done, he might have been in shape to fight a reality star and win, but he, not so.
Yeah, I think we won't hear much of that. I mean, we'll hear because he's a personality, but in the fight game, we won't hear much of Andrew Tate's name.
Yeah.
Well, he'll promote, kind of like Conor McGregor does.
I didn't know a whole hell of a lot about the man, but going in, when I kept seeing all these videos and hype stuff and packages and pictures, and so I started looking into the guy a little bit, and he's just an idiot.
Yeah, he's made a lot of money acting like a chauvinist individual, basically.
Well, I didn't care about that. He's just an idiot. Like he's not intelligent. And he thinks he's smart, and nothing bothers me more than that.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's funny at times. He's kind of corny other times, and yeah, I mean, he's obviously
I
does
don't
some
know much about.
sketchy, shady things. I mean, how he's gotten, this whole ability to influence the male population. I'm not quite sure.
He, based on what I can gather, he influences basically guys with no backbone that that have nothing going for them in life. That's the type of person that likes. And Andrew Tate, he's a smart guy.
Get in your face and like, you're gonna do better. Do that. All that kind of stuff. He seems to be very much into that.
He's a tool.
He wants to sell a lifestyle, is what it seems like.
Yeah.
Trying to sell a lifestyle. They hate lifestyle.
Well,
Which, hey, he's got a lot of money.
he's got Bugatti, as he talks about over and over. Also, on that card, as Scotty was so very ecstatic about, another world champion was crowned. Scotty
Ferguson.
Ferguson. What y'all think about that?
He looked better than I thought he would, considering kind of how he's looked since the UFC times. But yeah, like I said, he almost got a knockout. If it would have been a little bit longer, I think he could have knocked him down 100% legitimately. So, finding, better competition than Andrew Tate was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. And that guy, while Warren or whatever his name was, he's not a top tier boxer by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a pretty confident boxer.
Yeah, it's not like he's
And he wasn't
over.
Yeah, and he wasn't slow. He had a little bit of power behind his punches. He had pretty good technique. And Tony Ferguson, for a older guy that's not a boxer, looked pretty sharp. If I had never seen Tony Ferguson fight, and I saw the old man Tony Ferguson fight that day, I'd have thought he was a kind of a washed boxer that was, we live in his days winning a world championship.
And his striking has always been his like negative, like not really known for, except the UFC days. So
Yeah.
I agree with you. He's going to get another fight out of it. He'll get another Misfits fight.
Maybe he gets a world championship fight. He's our world champion.
I don't know.
And you can't take that away from him.
Yeah, who's next?
No idea. I don't know. I would like to see him fight.
Who?
World champion Dylan Dennis. In an MMA fight.
Hey,
I'd watch an MMA fight.
wait, in an MMA fight?
Oh yeah, I'd be all for that.
I don't know.
I'd like to see. I'd like to see that. That would
I mean, that is two world champions clashing. Clash of Styles, boxing world champion versus MMA world champion.
We're going to get kind of into a little bit later in the show. We're going to get into the wrestling aspect, but I'd like to see just a pure wrestling. Well, I'd like to see jiu-jitsu in there as well too. But I'd like to see them of the two of them.
Dennis is killing.
You think so? You think so? When I'm looking at this,
prime Tony, that would have been.
well, what I was going to say is
I don't think.
I would have liked to see Tony on the like blow, like, and then Dennis in like guard or something of that nature, and see what could happen.
You want to what?
See Dennis in guard and Tony on his back, and see what would happen.
I thought you said something about blow, and I was confused.
No.
Did you hear something about that, Scott?
I thought I heard but we'll let it slide.
All right.
Dennis fights for Misfits, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's one of their world champions. That's why I said it. So I keep throwing around the term world champion loosely. No, because it's the greatest company.
What are they the same weight class roughly? Could that realistically happen?
I mean, he fought Jake Paul, didn't he, or Logan Paul?
The weight class kind of changed in boxing too.
Yeah, I'm saying Logan Paul's not a small guy, so yeah, they're probably pretty close to the same weight.
Logan Paul called out Anthony Joshua on the internet after.
Logan Paul's an idiot.
I agree. Who's the bigger idiot, Logan or Jake?
Logan.
I'm gonna say Jake.
Nah, I'm gonna go Logan.
Logan has done nothing of note. Like he was going to do a
WWE superstar.
woohoo. He can do a back. The only reason he's even there is because his name. If he wasn't Logan Paul, he would never make it out of the indie circuit.
He's pretty active.
I mean, the same reason we're watching Jake Paul box on Netflix is because, he is who he is.
Fine is what the reason really.
But moving on, boys, because I'm tired of talking boxing. Let's go the opposite direction. Hulk Hogan's Real American Wrestling, or RFA, or whatever it is.
Yeah. So if you guys kept track of any of it,
And I was hoping you guys would fill me in.
So I just started doing that recently because I don't know enough. I know Jordan Burroughs and certain guys that wrestle now, but they have a lot of guys like Bilal Muhammad wrestled this weekend. Yoel Romero wrestled this weekend. And Bo Nickel wrestles for them. And they have good guys. Michael Chandler's wrestled for them. And Frankie Edgar or whoever it was. I can't remember who it was now. Chad Mendez, sorry. But they have good name value. And it's in front of a pretty good crowd. It's got good energy. Like, it's pretty fun to watch. And it's cool for wrestling to have a platform like that to kind of showcase, because other than Olympic wrestling, no one ever tunes into wrestling. You know what I mean? Like the NCAA championships here and there, but you know what I mean? The Olympics and that's really it. So this is cool to have a professional platform for where you're a world champion. You know what I mean? Kind of like the boxing or MMA has. So it's pretty cool they have that sort of platform. And it's cool that Yoel Romero doesn't age and freaking dominated, I guess, a pretty good legitimate wrestler. And not only dominated, like he tech faulted him, I think. So he beat him like he basically, it's like a run roll in baseball, like a little league baseball. He basically run rolled him. So he just flat dominated that dude.
So Yoel looked good?
Oh, yeah, he looked really good.
It's wrestling. Of course he's going to look good.
Yeah, you know, he was an Olympic silver medalist, you think. But he's 50 years old and
Freaky
don't judge about genetics. You mean he injects lots of things in his body to.
Well,
still though.
so Scotty, they've had 4 events now. They started out in August. The last 2 months, they had one in November, at the very end of November, and that was when Chad Mendez and Michael Chandler fought. And that was kind of their first big one. And then the last one that they had was just the 20th. And it was a big event, kind of like what Derek was talking about. Yoel Romero beat Pat Downey. David Carr beat Bilal Muhammad.
Wait, so who won the Chandler fight?
Chandler did. He looked pretty solid, too.
So they can go, it's not against like his UFC contract to go fight in.
Dude, in fact, if you look, January 10th, I believe, is the next one. And they've got 3 legit fights coming up. Colby Covington versus Luke Rockhold. That's the main event. Armand versus Lance Palmer, which Lance Palmer is a legit wrestler. So we're going to see what Armand Sarukian can do. And then Yoel Romero is going to fight Bo Nickel in a wrestling match. So here's what I want to talk about.
See where you guys like y'all would be actually really super interested in this.
Well, here's no power slap, but it's all right.
Well, here's what I want to talk about too, though.
You would like this better than Power Slap, right?
I'm kidding you. Okay.
So it was obviously founded by Hulk Hogan. And the first event, that they're building it around a guy named Wyatt Hendrickson, who is a legit heavyweight wrestler. He wrestled at Oklahoma State. Legit. And that was their main event of their first ever card. And Wyatt was in the main event this last weekend, fighting for their heavyweight title. He beat Mason Harris by a technical fall 13-2, which means he dominated his ass. He called Brock Lesnar out. Wyatt did, which is very, very interesting because that could happen. That could be something that could happen. I don't know how much they test.
It'll never happen. Brock Lesnar's been away from actual combat sports for too long.
I don't know.
And it ain't like they draw millions of viewers. They get a good amount of viewers.
What if they got Brock?
But they're not going to be able to pay Brock enough to get Brock on there because Brock has not beaten a 24-year-old Wyatt Hendricks.
No, he won't, I don't think, at this stage.
Maybe they'll get Habib out of retirement.
Well, I mean, any day now.
Massive weight difference, though. But Wyatt Hendrickson...
Well, no, I didn't mean for that fight. I just meant...
But Hendrickson, I mean, he's someone, especially in this organization, like I said, he wrestled at Oklahoma State. He's got local...
He beat Gable.
Yeah.
And then NCAA final.
Few people that ever did beat Gable sometimes.
Yeah, maybe one or two people ever beat Gable.
I wouldn't mind seeing Gable wrestle in this. That'd be fun. That'd be great.
Gable needs to focus strictly on MMA to develop that for a while.
Yes. But this does seem like something that they can do, quote unquote, on the side.
Yeah. No, yeah.
And then make some money. They're starting to get more fan base. They got it to where it's behind a paywall. It's Fox News has some kind of app that they have, like, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the Fox News app, whatever it is. And that's how you watch it. So you have to be subscribed to that to watch it live. But
now, Luke Rockhold is bigger than Covington, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Luke Rockhold's not wrestling.
Yeah, not a ton. And remember, Luke, his last spot's when his teeth got stroked.
Yeah, Luke's transition into just something to make money to stop getting his face.
But they'll still have to fight in a weight class.
Yeah, heavyweight classes. They have to hit weight. I'm sure there is some sort of testing as far as like steroids, all that kind of stuff.
But Covington was a college wrestler, right?
Oh, yeah, very good one.
Yeah.
Ridiculously good.
Pac-10 champion.
Champion, come on, Tony Ferguson, the champion.
Eric Bischoff is also a primary investor, which he's an old wrestling guy, well, too. So right now, you're not going to know any of the smaller guys, so just reality. But Yoel's their light heavyweight champion, or Bo Nickel. That fight's going to determine the light heavyweight champion. And then Wyatt Hendrickson is the heavyweight champion. And then they go all the way down to, they have a bantamweight champion. So they 135, 45, 55, 65, 75, 90, 205, 285. So the heavyweight is a little heavier than the UFC heavyweight limit.
Do you know what fight I hope they get on there next?
On the freestyle wrestling?
Yeah. Andrei Arlovski versus that broccoli-haired YouTube kid.
John Dowry, I think is that guy's name. Dowry.
Would y'all dudes see that?
Yeah, I saw a short snippet of it.
It's like Jack Dowry, Daughtry.
I think it's Jack Doherty.
He's some influence.
He's the guy that goes around, which I didn't know who he was at all either. I looked him up. Unfortunately, I gave him, I guess, view and gave him more money probably, but whatever my view gives him. But he goes and just jacks with people, then runs. If anybody gets him, it's he body problem. Yeah.
Oh, he messes with people and then his security steps in front, stops it.
Yep.
Oh, I've seen those videos.
Yeah. Well, so this
I'm
one,
not the guy to do that to.
no. So I guess they were, I don't know if they're trying to get content for their stuff or what, but they bump into Arlovski. Arlovski turns around, and one of those little broccoli-haired freaks tries punching Andrei, and Andrei's holding a cell phone in one hand, and he starts throwing him around and punching him. That big bouncer guy, or not bouncer, his bodyguard tries running up and punching Arlovski, and he literally just waved that thing off like it was a mosquito lands on his cheek. And he punches that one, throws him on the ground, and gives him a good soccer kick.
So did he actually get hands on Jack?
I don't know. I don't think it was Jack. I think it was the other one.
Yeah, I think it was his little.
And then
Bummer.
and the best part though, the bodyguard, after he threw the one punch, I think realized,
Uh-oh.
and he never went back and tried to do anything until they got separated. Then he was trying to corral those little broccoli-haired freaks and get them away from Arlovski. So either A, that dude's going to lose his job if they re-watch that, or B, they're going to schedule in a fight between that or a bare-knuckle boxing match or something between Arlovski and that bodyguard.
That's like the special agent that couldn't get her gun out of her holster.
Yes. Yeah. I think once he hit Arlovski and he's like,
You think they knew it was Arlovski? You think like they?
no, they were probably thought it was some older big guy. And then
Because he's 50. I mean, he's 50.
and the best part is Arlovski was punching and kicking and literally scattered like 4 of them, scattered them by himself, and never set his phone down. Never had it in his hand the whole time, punched with it and all, just throwing him around, kicking him. It was awesome. And Andrei legit called out that dude's bodyguard though.
Yeah,
in the
he did.
fight with him.
Well, Andre before he wanted the Jake Paul fight. Like he threw his name into the hat when
Andre did call it the bodyguard.
Yeah, he must have fought the bodyguard.
Nice.
Dude, I would put that on the next Misfits card and I'm tuning in. Boy, it was awful.
that'd be like speaking of Yolo, that'd be like the fight where he had in the bare knuckle boxing when he jumped up and then like just destroyed that guy.
He fought the cab driver, had one boxing match, and no other combat sport. I mean,
As former UFC heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
You're fucking her.
Yeah.
Like,
what
It reminded me of the guy, and I can't remember his name now. You guys will probably remember, but it was the guy in the bar, and there's the drunk guy's like carrying on, and he crosses paths with him, and the dude just.
There's no Pfeiffer.
No, it was Joe Shield.
Joe Shield.
Okay. It reminds me of that. You know,
There's a charge.
Yeah. I think he got off of it though.
That also the Conor McGregor one in the bar with the old man when they're sitting at the bar where he just socks that 60-something-year-old man like without him.
The best part, Steve, I already worked there. I'm like, what are you doing?
Have you seen that one, Scotty?
been a while. But
Oh, Iron Hand freaking McGregor, Scotty's hero, couldn't even hurt a 65-year-old man. That's how I know his fights are works.
here we go.
All right, boys. It's the end of the year. Well, right at them, almost.
This will probably be the last podcast.
But probably the last one, I think, maybe, I don't know. Yeah. We got Jeremy Horn we're talking to this preview for everybody. This, I didn't mean to do that, but yeah, Jeremy Horn this weekend.
It better happen now.
Yeah. If it don't, it is what it is, but we do have to. We have a schedule with him. He's been more than cordial, more than awesome with us. So, and happy to work with us. So look forward to that. So we may get that one put out before the end of the year. But for the year, boys, what is y'all's fight of the year? We'll start with Scott.
Ooh, fight of the year. I wasn't prepared for that.
Oh, because you don't listen to me.
I'm going Yuri and Roundtree.
Yuri and Roundtree, huh? Why you say that?
Just that comeback by Yuri.
It was a freaking barn burner on all four. Was it all three rounds too? That was a fun fight. You know why? I think it was a really good pick by you because that's exactly what I picked.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, because I like Yuri, and I actually picked Roundtree to win that. And Roundtree looks so good until Yuri's like, you know what? I'm about to start video game button mashing.
Never fails.
And
Unless it's me playing you.
that's true.
Then,
That fails. Dude, we need to play that baseball game again sometime.
yes, we do.
We're talking about NES baseball for any of y'all that don't know, because me and Scotty used to have a good rivalry at that. I think I'd won about 50 games. He'd won about 1 game. Okay, maybe 2. Law, did you look it up yet?
I looked it up real quick just because I wanted to remind you, like, you see some of the cars. No, you guys, honestly, you guys are probably right because that fight, I mean, that was great, of course. But I'll throw an honorable mention out there. The Jack Della Molina when Bilal lost the fight, that was a ridiculous war that those two put on as well, too. But I do think Jerry Khalil's probably going to, unless there's something, that we just don't remember, a weird fight. But the Yuri Khalil one, recent memory, recent bias.
And Prochazka Roundtree was awesome. All right, boys, it's now time for Fighter of the Year.
If I look on UFC.com, they've actually listed it, and they have, let me see, they have the Yuri fight as number 2, actually.
Number 1
It's Khalil Roundtree.
How dare they disagree with us?
Joshua Van and Brandon Roy.
Oh, I can see that. That was actually a really good fight.
So,
About Fighter of the Year, guys. Who do you got for that, Law?
I mean, you would have to say Merab, even though he lost at the very end of the year, I think, just because of all the other wins.
I mean, he beat Umar, he beat Sugar Sean, he beat Corey Sandhagen.
It's at least a discussion.
He had fought 4 times this year.
Yeah, and 5 in the span of a 12 months.
And who else do you put ahead of him? Because I've seen a lot of people say Pereira.
No, but I mean, he was kind of,
he fought 2 fights and he lost one.
Yeah, you can't say Tom Aspinall, obviously. He had an awful year. I mean, Peter Yan, not anywhere near what Merab did. I mean, beat Merab just because of his domination, but
how many fights did Hamza had this year? 2? 1?
1 or 2?
Yeah.
So even though Merab lost in December,
Merab Novashali is my number 1 as well, based on his beating Sugar Sean, Umar Nurmagomedov, and Corey Sandhagen, and then fighting Peter Yan. I mean, he all that within like an 8-month window or whatever. So kudos to that guy for fighting a killer's row.
Oh, insane.
Yes, we're back to back to back and just cutting weight constantly. So,
and realistically, well, I mean, Peter Yan looked really good, but I'm sure the quick turnaround and how many times he'd have fought in a short period of time had something to do with
always trying to discredit Peter Yan.
Always. He's Russian. Actually, I can't say that because now, but your basketball team just got to be Russian. Go Russia.
Don't want to edit that out.
What about you? Who do you think?
I was going to say Merab as well. I mean, he's had a great year.
If he would have won
Insightful, Scotty.
Yeah.
I mean,
you guys said it all. What's left to say?
But honestly, I mean, if he would have beat Peter Yan, it wouldn't have even been a discussion. Like, it would, there's not even anything to say about it.
No, the only thing I was going to say, since Derek's calling me out, is can you put Islam in that conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Here, Derek.
Here's my number 2.
No, this is totally random here, but I saw this week, and I've seen it before, but it made me think of a question. But Anthony Pettis's highlight of the kick off the cage.
Mitt Sanders?
Yeah, that's just so freaking flawless, dude. But it made me think, which would you pick as like a top moment? That versus Jorge Masvidal's flying knee.
The Showtime kick.
The Showtime kick is better to be.
I've seen plenty of flying knees. I've never seen another Showtime kick land.
But the flying knee in like the very beginning, the way it went down.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, it's up there.
All the trash talk that led into it.
And what would you go with, Law?
Probably the kick off the cage. But I
so
think
clean and smooth, dude. When I saw that this week, I was thinking about that because that Jorge moment was. I mean, that's one of my top moments in watching UFC. I mean, it was pretty cool to see.
Was that the WEC? I think actually the kick off the cage. I think it was
WEC.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, but they were swallowed by the UFC.
Yeah, so I think they were bought.
I
even think the UFC owned them at the time.
Yeah, Zoof, I think even owned them.
And I've seen that highlight before, but when I saw it this week, I was just like, man, that is just so.
Anthony Pettis, man, he's someone his fights were all fun. Look,
did you know it? He didn't actually knock out Benson Henderson. They make it appear like every clip time you see it was a knockout.
Because they just cut it.
Yeah, but it was not a knockout. So he knows Henderson. And Benson used to fight with a toothpick in his mouth also, by the way, which is freaking insane.
Vincent Henderson, someone we need to do a deep dive of soon. That's a good one. His fights were insane. And he fought all through different promotions, and he was good. He was fun to watch.
I didn't mean to throw us on a tangent.
No, it's good.
I will throw us on a tangent. Speaking of deep dive, we're at deep dive Scotty's knowledge right now with a game.
Let's do it.
Scotty doesn't know. Law, kick the music. No, he don't have it. Do you have it?
Yeah, we'll put it in post. We'll do it in post.
Okay, Riley.
I'll start. We're only going to do one.
One.
Just because it's the end of the year. We'll come fun.
One each.
All right. Okay. And I'll do my first. We'll go question until he gets one of ours, okay?
Okay.
Wait.
Like, instead of just me asking all my questions, I'll ask one question.
Start that for one each.
Yeah, not one individual each. We asked multiple questions, right?
I'm so lost.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. There's a miscommunication here. We interpreted what you said as one question each. He's saying one person go at a time.
Oh, no, I got you. Saying the exact opposite. I was saying we both I'll ask a question.
Viewers, if you're listening, please let us know if you are confused as we are later.
I will ask a question about my individual. If you can guess it, great. If you can't, then Derek will ask a question about his individual. And then we'll go back and forth to see which one lasts the longest.
Until you get one right.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Clear as mud, Law.
Okay. All right.
We're finally on track here.
This individual has a job that really only requires them to work one night a year.
Donald Trump.
That's less than one night. All right, Eric, you're going.
Well, get us.
Yeah, no, I have no.
Oh no, is it just the same person?
We're not. I guarantee you, we're not guessing the same. Like we're not going with the same person.
No, I know, but the next question you go is about the same person. You're kind of okay. Their first UFC championship was against Maurice Smith. They won it against Maurice Smith.
Next.
I knew that. Just right then, I knew it. Or I think of it. Whenever you see him, he's always donning red and white.
It's got to be Rocky Balboa.
I have no clue.
All right. He fought Jeremy Horn and Ryushi Yanagasawa in the same night and won both fights.
Next. Rapid fire, boys.
His nickname is he's known as the patrons of sailors and voyagers.
Lay it on me, Derek.
His next UFC championship was against Kevin Randleman.
Next question.
While he may not be known for his fights, he definitely delivers gifts to everyone at the end of the year.
Say that again?
While he may not be known for his fights, he delivers gifts.
It's Old Saint.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All right. I thought we was going to fight all the time. I was lost until that, too. I'm so confused. All right. But my real...
Very good, Law. I should have known because it's Christmas.
I tried.
That was very good.
I tried to throw it to where it kind of sounded like someone donned in red and white.
I'm going to give you very good credit. That was really...
His nickname is the patron of sailors and voyagers. That's like the...
I've never heard.
Well, that's the Saint Nith, the character behind Saint Nith. Yeah.
Well, either way, good one, Law. Christmas theme.
Festive of you, Law.
Yeah. I'll give credit. All right, mine. He beat Pedro Hizzo 2 times for the UFC championship.
I don't know.
We just had a conversation with him 2 weeks ago.
Brennan?
So 2 weeks ago, Chris Brennan. 3 weeks ago.
Couture?
Yes, Couture. We literally talked about these fights with him, Scott.
Sorry, man.
Oh, my God. Well, let's go. Scotty just doesn't know.
Well, no, he knew mine, I think, and he's known mine, twice now. So I'm winning this game.
I've gotten more than 2.
You get them because he hands them to you. All right. Boys, we got several emails today.
I noticed that when I was looking through.
Let's see. First, we have a giant email from Gary.
Read the highlight of this.
And I'm going to read it all because we got time. How long have we been on?
We are at 50 minutes.
Oh, perfect. You got time. This one's titled Merry Christmas with 1,000 exclamation marks and a wink face.
I wonder who that wink's directed at.
I imagine because the very next letter of this email says law. Hey, here. Yeah, this is Gary Miller. He said, it is okay to misspell names. I'm not perfect, and my past reflects that.
I love how Derek, as soon as he starts reading it, he just loses.
Yes, he does.
Oh, but people can change. I took that you were going to train with me. I guess that means you, Law.
Like in person?
I mean, he talked about going to Branson with me. I must say, I tried my white gi on with my black pants, and it looked good with my yellow belt. This week, we learned how to do a leg sweep on someone. You can call me the broom. I'm so good at it. I got sensei 3 times before he made me quit. We learned how to fall. I'm not really sure I believe all the hype. Gravity takes care of it, and it's not fun hitting the ground. I haven't heard back with you on your username. He's wanting to play video games as well. If there are other games you like to play, like sport games or anything, I will be willing to learn to play them too. I think we talked about that last week a little. So he wants to play those with you. Maybe you can coach me on the sports games and I can coach you on martial arts. I have some experience and Sensei says I learn real fast. He can tell I've been doing my kata. I plan to compete in a kata tournament at some point. Law, I would love you to start a YouTube channel on your martial arts journey, or we could do it together. I could reach the senior citizens and you could help reach the middle-aged people. And since you coach children, maybe we could do children's martial arts training on YouTube for free. It would help kids learn discipline and give them goals to work for. We could also do a baking channel. It would be great. You and I could Zoom call and we could record the Zoom call. Martial arts in the morning, baking in the afternoon. We can call it G-Man Law, like J. Edgar Hoover's G-Man and your name is Law.
Derek is enjoying this way too much.
Oh, it's funny because Law's got a boyfriend.
Gary, I do have a YouTube channel. It's Scrap Talk Pod.
Speaking of your name, you told me you don't work for the CIA and I'm on the right track. I imagine you are a tough lawman in Oklahoma. Law laying down the law. I bet you have some wild stories like calming a riot by yourself or catching a terrorist and all kinds of action. Law, you seem like you're the brains and always in charge. I would love to see where you live and how much people respect you. I imagine you treat people good since you're so smart and dangerous. And Merry Christmas, and don't forget to send me your username.
Merry Christmas, Gary.
I don't know his username, but I'll learn it for you, Gary. Can I give his a username?
Not on the air.
Well, can I email it to him? Sure. Okay.
Sure.
That is awesome. Gary, you're going to get that in an email.
I say not on the air like I'm worried that there's millions of people listening.
We get hundreds.
All right, the next one from Gary Miller. Another one?
Yes. This is a long one, too. We'll skip it today. We'll leave that. No.
Gary, you might want to tighten these up a bit, but
Gary, give us some highlights on this.
Yeah, I haven't read it, so I can't get highlights. This one's called Dirty Santa. Just a little update.
okay. No, he's got to.
Just for a little update on the holidays, I went to karate class last night and worked on a sidekick and a Japanese Yoko Giri.
I don't even know what that is.
See, I can be your sidekick, Law. The name fits. It must be fate. Back to karate. Fuck up fate. He's about to put your pet bunny in a boiling pot of water one day. Anyway, sorry, Gary, I'll digress. Sensei Donnie told me my form was top notch, and I'm getting my orange belt suit. I learned that Gary means kick in Japanese. You could kick it with Gary. We also worked on our downward block, and someone tries a sneaky uppercut. I'm working on the first 2 katas of the 5 major katas. Okay, Gary. I can just imagine how my orange belt will look with my black gi. Orange is a blood color, and it's the personality of a tiger.
The personality of a tiger?
Okay. I could get an orange headband to match. We played Dirty Santa last night, and I want a Voss Root and Oxygen trainer to help me with my stamina. I've used it all day, and I must say I'm getting better with stamina. I checked the mail hoping it's like a Christmas card from Law, and I'm sorry for that. Okay. It's a little shameful to hint around. The what? To hint around is what he sent me a Christmas card. After I checked the mail, I raked the leaves with my oxygen trainer.
Hey, those oxygen masks are no joke. And they're proud of love.
Gary agrees, it really works. Maybe after I've done with it, I can send it to you, Law. Law, would you like to try out my O2 trainer?
I'd love to have one of those.
He's gonna send it.
Let's go. I'll take it. Hey, they're crazy hard. Look like Bane while you work out.
Used one? You want to use one?
I have
Lysol. Boss Rittens?
I have Lysol. I have Lysol.
Oh, Law, do you have any suggestions on how to train my left leg? It is embarrassing to get with it. I feel weird and it doesn't work as good as my right leg. I told Sensei Donnie it was my weak side and he made me do push-ups while saying I have no weakness. I did 25 push-ups and only took 3 breaks. If Sensei Donnie won't let me call it my weak side, what should I call it? Maul, what should he call it?
Strong side.
Oh, Good job, Law. Very insightful. Sensei Donnie was telling me he was finishing up his Krav Maga certification, and we would be doing some Krav Maga. I asked Sensei Donnie what color belt he was in Krav Maga, and he glared at me. Does Krav Maga have belts? Law?
Probably not.
Please put another show out before Christmas for me. Merry Christmas, and I miss you.
Hey, Merry Christmas, and I'm going to say it again. Those Oxygen Master.
Oh, man. All right. And then we have
Catch Wrestling Corner.
Next, we have a couple more.
Okay.
From this is Jeet Kune Joe. He has trivia questions. I haven't looked at these either. And
You ready, Scotty?
so, yeah, Randy Couture has the record for the oldest fighter to win a title. How old was he?
He was over 40. I think it was at 46. I'm going to say 46. That would be my guess.
42.
45, almost 46. Over 45 and a half. That's when he lost to Brock Lesnar. Daniel Cormier was second when he was 40 years old when he lost his title.
To Stipe. But this probably doesn't say, but I think that was.
And he said, in this part two says, know your analyst. We know Derek broke his ankle during training. And your fans are aware that while recently preparing for his Ultimate Baking Championship bout against Gary, Law burned his pinky finger. Typical Law, he fought through the pain and said nothing about it to anyone after he had his wife kiss it and tell him he's going to be okay. Asked about it by his closest friends, his only words were, that's the way the cookie crumbles. He is a warrior and has earned his title, the Bing OG.
Is there anything in there about Scotty?
No.
Oh, man.
All right, now time for Elmer. Elmer Smith. This is the Hotmail guy.
We got another one from him?
Yep.
Okay.
I got this one a couple days ago. Boxing.
This is what it says.
Yes. I was disappointed Scotty wasn't there for the boxing deep dive. I was interested to hear his current take for the state of boxing since Scotty doesn't know. I took a trip in his honor over the weekend. I went to Bogota, Texas.
Sounds tropical.
Not much to see. No illegal drugs that I could find, and believe me, I looked. They did have an amazing Exxon station with the nicest Sonic I've ever seen attached to it. Well worth a visit, and it'll add another stamp to Scotty's passport. As far as the rest of the episode, I was a little upset you didn't talk about the boxing legend Joe Louis. He was the first true social media personality. We'd read about him in the newspaper and then listen to his fights on my Papa's transistor radio. You kids and your internet and YouTube stars don't know anything about the good old days of boxing. Respectfully, Elmer Smith.
I mean, that's a good point. It's not the boxing deep dive. I don't want people to think that we did a boxing deep dive. We did an influencer boxing deep dive. We tried to go heavy on that. I mean, Joe, he was a legit real boxer. So, I just saw this email. Who's it from?
The Catch Wrestler.
Oh, okay.
It says big news. And it says, I will reveal more about this email account in the future. So I click it. And it's scraptalkpod@yahoo.com.
They started us a new Scrap Talk pod.
I guess he got his own since he's part of the show now.
Yeah, it.
And last one. Let me see. I thought we have, Catch Wrestling Corner.
Is it an audio message?
Yep, it's audio. And we'll play it. I haven't listened to it again, so. Well, it's now loading. Give it a second. Sorry for the dead air.
This week's episode of Catch Wrestling Corner brought to you by M3 Guns and Tactical and Bang. Use code word Santa Claus when you walk in, stomp on the floor 3 times, and you can access auto Sears Glock switches and guns with no serial numbers. That is code word Santa Claus. Just kidding. They don't have any of that ATF. Spend your hard-earned money. Now, down to some business. I've been too nice to you boys. It's like an old hunting dog that I give too much freedom to. Wants to chase deer instead of the quarry he's after. You gotta rein him in every now and then. I give you the idea to start getting these guys on there, starting with Frank Dukes. I don't get an email. I'm a partner in this deal. You don't email me. And you go get Randy the Natural Couture on. Derek and Scotty, I don't know if you were just leaving Law out or if he was kidnapped by Gary for 2 episodes. Hang on, that's one of my fans.
I hear some jealousy.
I ain't got time for that. I don't know if Law was kidnapped or what for those 2 episodes. But Derek and Scott, he'd get drained to the natural couture on. Do you think it might have been a good idea to ask him about his catch wrestling coach, Neil Melanson? Yeah, true story. Neil Melanson's so dedicated to grappling he had a toe removed so he could continue to grapple. Look it up. And then you get the West Side Strangler. Now, you should have had the Ben Gangster on there for the West Side Strangler. That would have been, I don't know, sounded cool anyway. Law would ask some stupid questions. And speaking of Law, cute on this last episode a little bit with your mouth. I hadn't been out here. I had bronchitis. That means I was riding a bronchi horse and caught the cold. That's what my doctor said. It's been cold spell, and I caught it while I was on a horse. Bronchitis. It's a man's disease. Real men get it. Law, you want to pop off about how you're going to outlast me? The only thing you're going to outlast me at is losing and saying stupid things. That's it. Okay? Now, Law, you better go to M3 Guns and Tactical and ask them for, I don't know, a sawed-off double-barrel shotgun that throws a pattern wide. Okay, Gary comes down to your house and with Christmas coming up, I thought I'd write a little poem. And this is a poem by the Catch Wrestler. On Christmas Eve, as snow softly fell, Law was sitting at home and sensed something might not be well. Through the glowing lights and the carols so merry, he heard quiet footsteps. Could it be Gary? But out from the shadows, with way too much cheer, Gary waved and laughed. Relax, I'm not weird. Just bringing you cookies, slightly delayed. And Law laughed too, though he was very afraid. By the Catch Wrestler. Listen, I know this is the best part of the podcast. This is like dessert to your ears, but vegetables for your ears too, because it's healthy for you to eat.
Oh, man.
Ain't that funny how it works? It's the best of both. Leave a 5-star review. Share this around. Share it with your friends. The Catch Wrestler is back. He had the bronchitis. But I am back. And back with authority. And I will whip these boys into shape. And this gallivanting around interviewing people without a full panel, or letting me know so I can leave a Catch Wrestling corner or send a question or even get on the air, is going to stop. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, and I'll be back before the new year.
What do y'all think of that, boys?
Well, Mr. Catch Wrestler, I will tell you, as Derek spilled the beans, we are scheduled to meet with Jeremy Horn. So if you can send us in some questions before maybe the end of the weekend, we might ask one of those questions on the podcast.
That's true, yeah.
So,
Sorry, Gary. Not Gary. Catch Wrestler. There we go. That's the name. He used to have a longer name.
yeah, Jackie Chan, something.
Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, he's just shortened it. Now he's part of our podcast, and now he's got his own email.
Thank you also for adding the ad read. That's less work that I have to do in the post.
Okay, I will say, for the ad read, boys, that is not true about 33 Guns. They're a legitimate business. It is a good business. They sell guns and ammo and everything else, but they do it the right way. So, Catch Wrestler, do appreciate the ad. You boys got anything to add before we cut it?
I do. I want to ask a question, spur of the moment. I didn't bring it up because I wanted raw, real, actual, reaction to it. So we just talked about who our best fighter was of 2025. Who do you think the best fighter of 2026 is going to be, who we do this next December? I think it's going to help.
Damn it.
Chimaev? You think Chimaev?
Yeah, I'll change the team.
I'll just say if he's active enough, I think it's Chimaev.
If he fights twice, it's got to be Chimaev because he'll probably dominate whoever it is he fights.
I'm going to say it's Joshua Van. because I think he's going to fight multiple times in the year. I think he's going to start getting pushed in our face. And I think those fights are going to be long wars just because, those little guys don't knock each other out. I think he's going to show us that's a clever pick. That's a good pick. I can see that. I think that could.
Chimaev, if he's active,
It's just not very active.
Islam Makhachev is kicker is my other one I would pick if Chimaev isn't super active. Scotty, do you have a backup in case Chimaev?
No, it was my go-to.
Okay, of course.
I think, and then here's the last question. We'll end on this.
Also, if you hear noise, it's lost dogs walking around us.
Just a simple yes or no on this. Will John Jones fight in the UFC in 2026?
No.
No.
I'm going to say yes. All right.
That's it, boys. That's it for another round of Scrap Talk. We thank the catch wrestler for joining us again. I'm glad he's over his bronchitis or whatever he called it.
A Merry Christmas to everyone. Have a great holiday. And we apologize for Law being rude to you, catch wrestler.
Catch you in the new year.
Catch you in the new year or next week.
That is it for this round of Scrap Talk. We will catch you next time. If you want to help 3 losers out, follow, share, and follow us on all forms of social media at Scrap Talk Pod.